and we are here at the home of Bitcoin 2024. So I've been hanging out here so far at the convention. Went there early this morning. Went to karate combat last night. Met a lot of familiar faces and some new ones as well. So I just wanted to come to you live here from the city and give you a little update of what we've seen here. There are a couple big news items to kind of discuss, or a couple things going on to take away so far. It just kicked off as well, so a lot more to come. Today, we did see a big rally in Bitcoin. I think it's finally with the anticipation for big announcements, and particularly coming from the presidential office, or the soon-to-be president, if elected, Donald Trump, which a lot of polls are saying that we're expecting him to. But we're seeing Bitcoin back over 67,000. Yesterday we were down to 64,000. And so nice little rally. Very excited to see where we'll be at by tomorrow. Yeah, I just wanted to give you a little update. This is going to be a shorter stream, probably about 20 minutes. It'll be a little bit more Q&A because I don't have the normal setups here. So if you got any questions, let me know, and I'll be glad to kind of have a little bit more Q&A with today's stream, as well as I got some news. So we'll jump right into it. First of all, we got the state of Michigan. So a state of Michigan adds Bitcoin ETF to its pension fund. So this is not the first state. I think Wyoming, and there was one other one as well. So Michigan, $6.6 million worth of Bitcoin purchase for their pension fund retirement accounts. So pretty bullish there. This is, I think, just the beginning narrative as people warm up to Bitcoin, especially with the president or with former President Trump discussing Bitcoin. I think we're going to find ourselves in a scenario where more and more states come aboard. And I would expect that the states that will be joining the Bitcoin, philosophy and having it as a pension fund, I think that's kind of like the easiest start there. Hey, what's a good retirement account? What's good assets to put into a retirement account? Commodities have always been part of that portfolio, as well as things like S&P 500 and index stocks, but Bitcoin seems like a natural fit there. And so yeah, that's pretty bullish there. We got that. And then also we have U.S. Senator Bill Hagerty says he's fighting to pass pro-Bitcoin legislation that promotes freedom and opportunity. And so another representative here, we got the Senator Bill Hagerty. And, he joins a long list of congressmen and women that are pro-Bitcoin. Cynthia Lummis, which is speaking here at Bitcoin as well. We have the other candidate, RFK. He was at karate combat last night, so got a chance to bump elbows with him there. And it's just very obvious that the direction of the crypto ecosystem, or kind of the vibe of crypto, I think it's more and more mainstream for people that don't have exposure to crypto. Well, why do I say that? So always when you go to a new city, you're hopping in Ubers all day. It's obvious that Bitcoin convention's here. And so the locals, they haven't seen it before because this convention has previously been in Miami. So you got a bunch of new locals that aren't exposed or haven't been exposed to Bitcoin, and all of them are pretty receptive. I haven't heard of one person I haven't heard not one comment of, well, I don't know, it's not backed by anything, I don't trust it, I wish I would have bought it. They're just very intrigued. So shout out to the city of Nashville here, because everyone that I've encountered so far, the outside of the convention, just the typical people wandering the streets, they've been really receptive. They've been like, yeah, man, you know what? Bitcoin's here. We're glad to have the convention here in the city. Nothing negative. So I think it just kind of a good gauge or temperature to what the rest of the country looks at for Bitcoin, and that whole narrative that like Elizabeth Warren and other congressmen have been saying is that, hey, you know what, it's a scam, it's used by criminals, money laundering. That narrative is quickly dying down now, especially with the endorsement of political leaders, and not to mention both sides of the aisle, not only just Republicans but also Democrats as well. Um, there's that. A couple other big announcements. We also have what tomorrow will be Trump speaking. So I probably will go live at some point tomorrow. So we typically don't go live on Saturdays, but I think that this probably warrants a live stream. So we'll probably go live. I'm not sure if it'll be during the same time as Trump is speaking, but I'll find time to go live there. It is a little difficult to get good enough internet to do this, and so I'm not exactly sure how that'll play out. But so Trump, we got Ripple CLO. Al Doherty, he donates $300,000 in XRP to Donald Trump. If you've seen Donald Trump's website, his campaign does accept donations in multiple cryptocurrencies. So one of those is XRP. Obviously, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum. I think Shiba Inu was on there as well, and a handful of other cryptos. So, seems to be paying off, right? I mean, these $300,000 donations, that's nothing to sneeze about here. It's quite substantial amount of money. And then we also, I'm just kind of like breezing through some articles here. And so the Marathon CEO, he was speaking here as well. He was saying that Bitcoin mining will absolutely thrive under the Trump administration. And he's probably alluding to some of the comments that Trump has made here in recent rallies that he's had, where he said, hey, he wants to have Bitcoin made here in America or mined here in America. And I think that the miners are pretty excited about all of this as well. I know that the exchanges have been having a hard time with regulation here in the United States. But you know what? It hasn't really been very favorable for miners as well, for Bitcoin miners. And certain states are trying to shut down the miners to quote unquote alleviate the grid or whatever it is for energy concerns. But we haven't really, we're not hearing any of that for Trump. And so we haven't heard anything about, hey, this energy concerns. It's been the exact opposite. He wants to bring mining to America. So the Marathon CEO, very excited about this as well. And then just really excited about the ETF. This thing with the ETF with Ethereum has been a success. I talked to James Seifert, who's been on our channel before. He's very excited about the direction of the ETF for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've seen a ton of volume come in on this ETH ETF. And, once this sell pressure kind of subsides from the Grayscale Trust, I think that we're going to see that big parabolic run. And, this is a pretty good spot to pick up ETH. You're sitting at $3,200. This is lower than it was prior to the ETF going live. And, a week ago it was at $3,500. And so this might be one of the most epic entry positions that you're going to be able to get in a short term. I think that $3,200, I think 6,000 is kind of in the bank for me, at least. Nothing's for certain. You never know. But I just don't see a scenario where Wall Street will fade Ethereum. I don't see a scenario where people aren't taking profits from Bitcoin and moving it over to Ethereum. I'm not seeing a scenario where people don't want to diversify their crypto portfolio, their Wall Street crypto portfolio, and they say, hey, look, we have 4% exposure to Bitcoin. We started with 2. Let's just say that someone picked up Bitcoin at 2 or 3% of their portfolio when it first went live, around $40,000. They're now probably allocated to 3 to 4%. Now they could take some of that extra percentage that they've already made in just a short 6 months and just move that over to Ethereum to diversify, right? And try to get the similar upside there. Now, I do want to give a little love to the chat. And so I see Alex O in here. He's saying hola. And then you got Mark Dutch, In My Hero, Po Man, French Toaster, Dixie, Flatline, Leroy, Enzo Mining, Theo, Brokioshi first in the chat, of course. We got Alexandra, Patrick, Positive Vibes, Jason Mack, Ricky Romero, GT Nuts. I know I didn't get all of you, but just want to give a big shout out to you guys and gals. I know I haven't really been giving too much shout outs on the live show, so we've been trying to keep it more fast-paced news. And so but yeah, a little love to you guys. Do you guys have any questions here for me while we're out here? I'll let you put some questions in the chat. I'll do a little Q&A if you want to get any perspective from my end or ask about the perspective. I'd love to give that to you. I do want to say I've ran into a lot of the familiar faces that y'all are probably familiar with. So at Karate Combat, we ran into James Seyfert. Ran into a lot of people from the Hit Network, DZ. We ran into a lot of the behind the scenes friends as well. One of the YouTube, a guy that helps us out with our YouTube sponsorships and marketing. That's Greg. So excited to kind of meet up with him a little further. We've seen Gary Cordone, man, and then the community members as well. We got Biomex out here, Jimmy. I ran into Amy from Amy Lives Crypto, which is someone that we constantly follow on Twitter. So it was just real fresh. Also Billy as well, and just really excited just to meet the community members. Piano Matty B as well. He said, "What time is Trump speaking tomorrow?" That's a good question. I don't even know. Jason Mack says Trump speech at 2 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, it's very interesting because the Secret Service is in full effect. And so to see any of the members speak at this moment on the main stage, it's like an hour wait. And that's because they have a pretty buttoned up Secret Service running the door, and there being 20 to 30,000 people here, and the main stage I think only seats like 8,000. So smaller stage for audience, and a lot of people trying to get in, and the Secret Service is just they're not playing around. Obviously, we've had an attempt on Donald Trump, which will be here tomorrow. RFK's got the full Secret Service squad with them as well. So it's pretty interesting. We got DDG says hour worth it if you don't see each day for the future president speaking about Bitcoin. Yeah, there's no way I don't go in there tomorrow to see Trump speak. It's difficult right now. So I'm just kind of going around the venue. There's a lot of people to talk to. Dixie Flatline, $10 super chat. He says, next drink on me. Thanks for the live coverage. Thank you, Dixie. Appreciate that. And then what else we got? We got Jason Mack says, what's the best food you've had out there so far? So I got here late last night, got off the plane, dropped off my luggage here in the hotel room, and then I was off to Karate Combat. So I did have street dog last night, and then today I went and got some sushi, just because I had a lot of that airport food. It sat pretty heavy on me, so I decided to go sushi because it's a little lighter, I guess, not anything like fried. And so yeah, so right now, yep, sushi is the only has been my lunch. I'm planning on going out to dinner with a few different people, and then Miguel Acosta says, after unloading 4 tons of wood for my grandparents, I'm finally on vacay. So, yeah, enjoy your vacation. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the conference. There's tons of booths. There's all kinds of people here, and you know, I'm very excited to see the markets in green as well today. So just a quick rundown. You do got Conflux up 20% today. Also, BitTensor up 15%. Jupiter up 14%. Filecoin up 14%. Just on 24 hours. So we're seeing a ton of green in the altcoin markets, and which is pretty bullish. I know a lot. I think probably all of us here have exposure to we got exposure to altcoins, right? And so I would assume most of us have some Bitcoin, but we're trying to hit home runs here. Bull market coming. We know the altcoins outperform Bitcoin, and that's expectations this time around. So I don't see this one being any different. And so yeah, man, I'm really excited where the market's going. I know I've said it like so many times, but I'm so excited about tomorrow with Trump and speaking on Bitcoin. Every time he's made a sentence, 1 to 2 sentences regarding Bitcoin, it went absolutely viral. The crypto market is pumped, and the man is going to be speaking for 30, 45 minutes in its entirety on Bitcoin and crypto and its US's position on it and what he plans on doing when he gets in office with crypto. I mean, he's going to be the one that puts in the new SEC chair. So we're expecting him to boot Gary Gensler, and so he's going to put somebody else to fit that role. Will he get rid of Jerome Powell at the Fed? What about Janet Yellen at the Treasury? And so even with appointed members, he doesn't even have to do it himself, right? All he has to do is say, hey, this is my crypto guy. Here's someone that has experience in crypto, that knows the space. Let me put them on, as a chair of the SEC or run the Treasury Department or the CFTC. And so that's what I'm excited about. Obviously, we don't know exactly what will be said, but I'm expecting it to be extremely bullish as well. And then, so Leroy says, street food for 68 years and still here. Yeah, everyone always makes fun of me for eating street food because, I had a sandwich one time, I almost took my ass out. And so I got some nasty food poisoning that almost killed me, honestly, no jokes aside. And, but you know what, man, whatever don't kill you, make you stronger, right? And so, I think a lot of times the street food is way safer than a lot of the restaurant food. That comes from somebody in a restaurant background. A lot of these chain restaurants will prepare something in a warehouse, store it for for a long period of time, ship it across the country in bags. Hopefully it's all sanitized. Then it's stored there and reheated and all. And anyways, there's lots of points of failure for contamination on these on these restaurants. So for me, you know what? Give me point A. Like some chopped up meat, cook it on a grill, throw it on a sandwich. Let's go. So really excited about tonight, though. I am going to be hanging out with some familiar faces. So make sure you guys are keeping up to date on the X platform because I'll be kind of just shooting up all these different updates and photos with some of my friends and buddies out here. So really excited to meet up with some people here. I'm reading through the chat here, seeing if what kind of questions we got here. And so, In My Hero says, when Ashley, we got Rocco out here, Rocco and his wife, and then which is Lala, and so it's the 3 of us. David didn't make it, Ashley neither. But there's more conventions, so they'll get out. And then Genzi says, "Is Bitcoin event even cool? Like, what do you do there besides talk?" You know, I feel like these conventions are kind of set up and they're geared towards networking and meeting people and like-minded individuals. I know for myself personally, we obviously have our own channel, and so I'm super excited about crypto. I'm ready to talk about it all 24/7. And I feel like the people that you see every day, the people at work, the taxi drivers, when you get your haircut, a lot of people are just doubters or haters. They don't have any exposure, or they just kind of like brush you off, like, oh, okay, yeah, Bitcoin, yeah, and then you walk away and they're like, this guy. But when you get to these conventions, you got 20,000 people that are in that same kind of mindset that you are. They're tired of making crappy wages, not seeing any returns, getting screwed over by the banks, and so you get to a convention like this, and it's like 1,000 big Robs just around here, man. It's 1,000 Davids, and 1,000 of a person just like you, and so you can go get a bite to eat, and then you see somebody next to you with the lanyard on, and you can just be like, hey, you enjoying the conference? It's like pretty cool, right? And then you kind of go. It's a really fun environment. Now, if you come here on a mission, you're trying to buy something, let's say you want some like mining rigs, there's a big presence for mining here. Or if you're just kind of like trying to find the next hardware wallet you want to get, there's a lot of products out here. So there's a lot of things that you can walk away from with. There's tax professionals. We ran into Ernest as well today from Decrypted Tax, and so there's a lot of energy out here. I'll say that. So depends on what you're trying to get. If you're out here trying to purchase, take stuff away, that's here. The meme coins are here. There's a ton of these Trump meme coins, man. It's crazy. So there is, I would say, probably 10 to 15 different meme coins, all Trump related. VP meme coin, MAGA this and Trump that, and so it's not free of all of the degenerate stuff of crypto, right? Now, in Bitcoin's past conventions, like Bitcoin Miami, we've seen a lot less of that, and it's been more like the Bitcoin Maxis, this Lightning Network, and so it's kind of interesting to see the meme coin thing be here, and I think it's more or less because of Trump, and I don't know. There's a lot of cool art there too. They have a little art district where people are selling like some NFT stuff. So a lot of fun stuff to take away from here. Well, that's going to do it for today's show. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. It will give you an update on all things Trump and what he says. And then also, interact with us on X. I'll be loading up a bunch of, I'll be sending out a lot of tweets or posts on X. So come check that out. And then with that said, this is going to be Big Rob signing off. And so thank you so much for joining us. And I'm getting back to the convention. So yeah, until next time. Thanks. Bye.